I messed up. It happens, but I'm not gonna let it bring me down. I'm gonna find a way to turn this into a positive. What's up guys, Darius here back with another video, and today I'm going to share my story as to how I messed up, how that affects me, and how I'm going to proceed moving forward. But before we get into that, as always, if you get any value from this video whatsoever, please consider giving it a big thumbs up, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. So yeah, I kind of messed up, and this is related to Vlogs of Knowledge. Those that know me, those that follow that channel and what I do there, you know that a couple of weeks ago I switched things up. I ditched the usual history videos that I always did, and I adopted a new show that I call Quest of History. And Quest of History, for those that don't know, is a show that's less so focused on history, even though there's history in the title, but more so focused on gaming. Basically, I'm telling my own stories, but I'm putting them and basing them on real historical facts. But even then, it was something completely different than the stuff that I used to post on my main channel, Vlogs of Knowledge. Now, I didn't mess up the concept of the show. Like, the idea is great. It's really interesting. It's really unique, and that's not what I messed up. It was more so the execution of the show, the way that I uploaded the videos, the strategy behind it. Basically, what I wanted, one of my main strategies, was to split otherwise very long videos. I first planned to make like 16-minute quests that would come out every week or every 2 weeks. And instead of doing that, the strategy was to split them into parts and have more videos for people. And I told myself that if I did that, well, the videos would be shorter, so they would be easier to make, people would have more videos per week, and I can also involve people in the decision making of the story. Whatever happens in the story, they get to decide. And I also implemented this real consequence that if you make a bad decision, it can badly affect the quest and you can fail the quest. Now, all of these things, they seem great on paper. People will get more videos, I would get more views, I would get more income, I would involve the people more, there would be more engagement. And overall, I thought this would be a very good strategy until I did it. When I did it, it turns out it's not a good strategy at all. The videos were decreasing each video that I would upload, and it really wasn't what I expected. Like, the engagement is great, that's not the problem. The people that actually watch the show, they're very engaged, they leave a lot of comments, and when it's time to vote, a lot of people vote. I have like a 60% voting rate, which is very, very high. That's not the problem. The problem was that every single part 1, 2, 3, 4, I would get less and less views every single part. Like, the views were decreasing, I was losing the interest of people who were watching the quest. And then I realized that it kind of makes sense, because when you're breaking up a story into multiple parts, it's very hard to make every single part very exciting, right? Like, these episodes were like 5 minutes long on average. And because of the structure of the story, some episodes, like part 3 for example of the Mummy Quest, was simply dialogue, because I needed to build the story, I needed to build you the background, the context, so that you guys had to make a decision that would then impact part 4. Now that sounds cool, that sounds great on paper, but actually doing it, actually having people wait that long and having them watch a video that's only dialogue, for a lot of people, and you can obviously understand this, people don't have that big of an attention span, people want action, it's not gonna work, it's really not enough. And no matter how cool the idea is, no matter how great this whole concept is, it all comes down to the execution. If you don't execute it correctly, it's not gonna work. So that's sort of my situation right now. Like, I did a quest, I saw that splitting into parts did not work, the views were going down, so I had to adapt, I had to do something, and I had to look at my channel and the way that I present my videos and see what works and what doesn't. So then I looked and I analyzed and I came to the conclusion that what works for my show is really the concept, the way that I present the story, the way that I make the story fit with the real historical narrative of real actual events that happen throughout history. That's very good. Also, people, when it comes down to voting, they vote. There's a lot of engagement, so that's also good. The only thing that I found so far that doesn't really work is splitting it into parts. That's really what I have to tackle. That's the problem that I have to focus on. So then I kind of had to find a way to keep what works and ditch what doesn't work. And the way that I've come up with my current strategy, the way that I'm going to proceed moving forward, is go back to making longer videos, try to make a whole complete quest, no matter how long it takes. If it takes 2 weeks to produce, that's fine. If the video is 16 minutes long, that's fine too. As long as the story is there, as long as the quest is complete, try that and see how that does. But I also want to implement the choice aspect of my show, right? So what I'm thinking is do something like part 4. If you're watching this video right now, part 4 of the Mummy Quest came out today. And in part 4, Well, in part 3, you had a choice that affected you in part 4, but also affected you in the next quest where they have to take down the pharaoh. So what I'm thinking of doing is, instead of giving people choice at every single part of the video, I would give them one choice at the end of the quest that's gonna affect them in the next quest, if there's a next quest for that certain character, which usually that's kind of what I try to do. I try to do multiple quests with the same characters spread out throughout time. And I'm thinking that if I do this, then people are going to watch the whole thing. When they watch, they're going to vote, and that choice is going to affect them in the next quest, which then they'll want to watch. I'm not going to lose interest that much because it'll be like a whole, I don't know, it won't be in parts. Because I think really what lost people interest so much was the fact that not every single part was exciting, was interesting, and it might have been too short. I'm not too sure. I still have to test all of these things out. And that's really my thought process on this situation. I might be wrong, I might not have the complete information, something else might be going on that I'm not getting views, I don't know. But I'm in a position where I'm trying my best, I'm trying to learn based on the information that I have, the resources that I have, and I'm trying to do my best moving forward. I'm trying to come up with the best strategy that's going to be the best thing for my channel and ultimately for the viewers, because all of this is for me to give value to the viewers and for them to really be able to enjoy my show as much as humanly possible. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because there's a lesson to be learned out of that. Nothing that you make is going to be perfect. Nothing that you make is always going to work. Some things will not work. You're going to fail in life. You're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are good. It doesn't really matter that you've made a mistake. It more so matters what you do after, right? I always say that a mistake is always meant to give you a lesson. There's always something to be learned from a mistake. I did a quest, I split it into parts, it didn't work, that's okay. Now I'm gonna adapt, I'm gonna change my strategy, and I don't consider that as a failure, because sure, I failed the quest in terms of I didn't get as many views as I would like, but I learned that splitting it into parts is not the optimal strategy, which means that going forward, I'm gonna have more information, I'm gonna be better off with the videos that I'm going to upload in the future. And that's what I think you should always be doing. You should always try to make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, use them as opportunities to better yourself, to learn more, to be better, and to have a better strategy. Because not everything that you do is going to work. It's not if you're doing something for the first time, chances are it's not going to work. You're going to have to fail. You're going to have to learn a lot of lessons until you get something, or until you change that thing into something that would actually work. Successful people, they're not successful because they did one thing and it got them a ton of money or a ton of fame or recognition. They did a lot of things, they failed a lot, they learned a lot of lessons, and then through that knowledge, they eventually did something that worked and that got them success. So if you're watching this video, I want you to really look at mistakes as a good thing. Take my example of something that failed, a quest that failed, views that are going down, and use that as an opportunity to learn and to grow and to better your strategy for the next time. Because if you're not doing that, you're not going to get ahead in life. At least I don't think that you will get ahead in life. My experience has been that whenever you want to improve, you have to fail, you have to invest time, energy, and failures to get the lessons to then grow and be able to do better next time. So yeah, those were kind of my thoughts on the subject. If you guys got any value from this video whatsoever, please consider giving it a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I do upload every so often, and whenever I do upload, I always try to give you guys as much value as I can in a YouTube video. And also leave me a comment. What do you think about failures? How have you failed, and what lesson did you take out of it that then allowed you to be better for the next thing, your next endeavor, or whatever it is that you wanted to do? My name has been Darius. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you all in a different video. Peace.